Hey, welcome back to the Freeze-Dried Business channel. My name is David. I run a freeze-dried business in Idaho. And if you are running a freeze-dried business or you're looking at starting one, this channel is for you. In this video, I hope to encourage you to set some goals over the next couple of days or weeks, even heading into the first part of next year on your freeze-dried business, because there's so many opportunities out there that if we write them down and we stick to them and create some more consistency and have more processes heading into next year, we're going to be successful. So I'm going to give you 3 goals as a category for you to work off of, and then I'll give you some examples of what my goals are within those categories. So category number 1 is going to be research. The reason research is valuable is because competition is going to become very, very fierce in terms of pricing and just having the same type of products. It's just going to happen. It's inevitable. But what's going to set you apart is the research that you've done, whether with your bags, whether with how much product you're going to do, whether with how much time it's going to take you to do things. So maybe your goal is to try a different product. Maybe you want to add veggies to your mix. Maybe you want to add more candy to your product lineup. Maybe you want to add more fruit. Maybe you want to do more meals and maybe freeze-dry lasagna, freeze-dry things like that. Maybe you want to talk to your local health department and figure out what things are still under cottage food. Maybe it doesn't require so much time and effort or permitting and regulation. And if you're a commercial licensed kitchen, think about goals and research that you could apply to becoming very unique and finding your niche to where you can be a differentiator and you can have your own set of products instead of continuing on with what's trending and what's happening right now. So my goals that I wrote out for research is I want to test and introduce new packaging. This has been on my list for the past couple months, but I'm definitely going to make it a priority in 2023. And the reason being is the Craft Mylar bags have been great because they've been able to differentiate me in the market, and my customers, as from wholesale to direct, have really liked the type of bag that I have. But there are some limitations to it. One, it's a short-term shelf life. So my fruit and things that have more susceptibility to oxygen as well as moisture, those products have a shorter shelf life of about 6 to 8 weeks. So I really need to fix and research bags that can extend my shelf life and help me gain more and more inventory that I can store up when the prices and the seasonality of all those things are better. The second part of that research for bags is I really want to create a sample bag that's uniquely branded, that's different from my Craft Mylar bags that you might see at a local store. I want to be able to differentiate a brand, like a subcategory of a brand, and I want to find like a sample bag that doesn't cost too much, that allows me to introduce new products to customers. Your next category for goal setting should be about product. What products are you going to eliminate? What products are you going to add to your product lineup? You need to have something that differentiates you. So you've got your legacy products and things that are probably going to sell the most times. And I had that other video about the top selling 20 items that I found have been selling really good for me. Take a look at that video. Look at the items that have been selling really well for you. And then take a look at what other people are selling online. Go to Etsy, go to Facebook, go to some of your other competitors and people that you've heard have been selling online from different Facebook groups. See what's selling really well and test those out yourself. Also, be bold. Try different seasonings. Try different things that could add flavor to your freeze-dried product. And that way you have something unique this coming year that nobody else has, that you're willing to put the time and effort into. Keep that legacy product, keep those candies, keep the ice cream and the fruit that's easily done by everybody else. That's fine. Why eliminate the ones that are selling the best? But go ahead and start introducing something new. So my goal for this category is I want to introduce veggies to my product lineup. And I talked about that in my top 20 selling items video. I really want to introduce corn and peas that's more branded to adding to salads and soups. I've heard this could be really great. One of you in your comments in that video actually suggested that I use ranch seasoning, which I've actually been thinking about using because I use it in my homemade guacamole just on the side. And I want to try that with the corn, as well as something maybe new with the peas. So that's my goal, is to add peas and corn to my product lineup and do it very well before I introduce it to my customers. All right, so the last goal for you should be about sales. How are you going to drive more sales? How are you going to generate more revenue? Are you going to build a website so that you can have people buy online? Are you going to stick with Facebook but do more ads? Are you going to start trying to get into a commercial kitchen? Are you going to maybe rent a commercial kitchen, or are you going to create your own so that you can start selling wholesale? Are you going to look into more trade shows? Are you going to look into more farmers markets? Which ones are you going to be a part of? That's all the part of this setting goals for sales that you can apply for this next year and start working on over the next couple weeks. Because believe it or not, 1 month's gonna pass, 2 months, and all of a sudden you're gonna be behind schedule. Especially those farmers markets, their deadlines are gonna come up here in February and March, and you better be ready to submit those, as well as starting to get all your shows and your tables and all your booths set up already created. So get on it, set some goals for yourself for sales, and attack it. Now, for this particular goal with sales, put down some goals for the process. How are you going to get there? What are you going to do to actually achieve these sales goals? Don't just put a number of, I'm going to sell $20,000 this year. How are you going to get there? Figure out the process first and set those goals. Are you going to post 2 times a week to your social media pages? That's a process. Are you going to post and create an ad every single month on Facebook? Are you going to create an Etsy store, and are you going to run different specials on Etsy? Are you going to create a newsletter? Are you going to do text message? How are you going to create sales that drum up every single week and every single month to get to those sales goals? Here's my goals for 2023. I want to add 1 wholesale vendor or retail store every single month. So I should be at 12 more than what I have today. And I'm going to do that by just being more aggressive with my contacting, more aggressive on giving samples and letting people try that, and figuring out what those wholesale people want in order to achieve the goal of having 1 more additional vendor each and every month. The 3 goal categories that I have for you to set up for this next year is number 1, research. Find out how you can perfect your craft. How can you learn more about freeze drying? How can you learn more about product and packaging, and just be the expert in this particular field or whatever you're creating for your business? Number 2 is product. How can you introduce something new and unique to your freeze dry business this coming year that can set you apart from everybody else? And last but not least is sales. How can you drum up more sales, but how are you going to create that process? What's a process and something that you can stay consistent with every single month this next year that you can implement right away that can drum up new sales for you, as well as returning sales? I hope this video was useful for your freeze dry business. Again, create those goals. Set something down on paper. I hope that after this video, or even during this video, that you wrote down some specific goals that you've been thinking of and attack it. Put it down on paper, put it on your computer, put it on your phone, put it on your refrigerator. Do something that reminds you what you're trying to achieve this next year, because you can do it. Don't just rely on the legacy products and feel like, yeah, everyone's doing freeze-dried candy. You can be different. You can do something different. I know you can, because that's what I'm going to have to do this next year as well. It's a saturated market. There's more and more people buying freeze dryers. I heard from a Harvest Right sales rep that they're selling 5,000 to 6,000 Harvest Right freeze dryers and shipping them out every single month. That's a lot of people buying Harvest Right freeze dryers. But that doesn't mean that the market isn't ripe for you to achieve the goals and the sales that you want to start a little side hustle, or even something that could take it even further. So we'll be back again on the Freeze Dry Business channel. Please hit the like button or subscribe if you like this content. We'll see you again next year.